Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we will be talking about very interesting library which is Axios. So Axios will help us to fetch the data from servers, right, using APIs. So we do also have a fetch. In previous video I was talking about fetch, and we have also had the example of fetching data from APIs, right? But Axios is little advanced, so we will be talking about that today, and we'll see why should we choose Axios and how can we set up the Axios with our project, right? And finally, we will have these code examples where we can see how we can fetch the APIs using Axios. So guys, before moving forward, please subscribe to my channel and share this series with your friends if they are interested in learning mobile application development. So let's move forward. So guys, in last video, we have seen how we can integrate this API using the fetch method, okay? So as and when you used to increase the count, it used to call the data from APIs and used to showcase the first name, last name. So now how can we achieve the similar thing using Axios? So very first thing what we required is to see the documentation which is available over internet, and this is the official website of Axios, so you can always go through and check what is Axios. So the first thing is, what is Axios? So Axios is promise based HTTP client, and this works with your browser, also with your Node.js server. So basically if you have your backend application which is on Node.js, there also you can use Axios for third party calls. Also you can use for the browser APIs call, right? And Axios have a lot of features listed down here, you can always go through. So this will provide a lot of these features. One of the best feature is cancellation request, and transforming your request and response, okay, and intercept your request response. So all of these are very important, and you won't find with the fetch. That's why we should be using Axios, right? And further we have timeout feature, right? We have post HTML form as a JSON. So we have a lot of these things, and setting bandwidth limit for Node.js. So you have these features which is very important when you work with the bigger project. Okay, small project it is okay if you are using a fetch or any other thing, right? So but for the bigger project you should be using it Axios, so that you can keep it centralized place, all of your API request or the base configuration. Also it will be very simple to call your APIs, and your code will look little neater and cleaner, right? So now let's move forward and see how we can install this Axios. So Axios have a couple of options. You can use from Bower, you can use Yarn or npm. We'll be using this npm install Axios, right? So we can just quickly copy that piece and go to our code. So we'll do that. Okay. Yeah. So we'll quickly install that. Once it will install, we will start using it. So now I will just take you to a couple of more things, like, so now I'll take you to one more place. This is npmjs.org. so you have similar kind of documentation available here, so you can also go through whatever document we have here, and also we have installation guide, so you can also use that. Yeah, so let's move forward and see. I think we might have installed by now. So we have this Axios installed with us. We'll see how we can use Axios normally, so without the instance. So I said there is an instance, so we will talk about that centralized instance. But yeah, if I want to use Axios directly, I can just import that Axios from Axios. So we have this Axios available. So instead of fetch, we will just turn to Axios, and we will say dot get. We are just telling which method we wanted to call this, and we have the same URL which we had before. Now as it is Axios, we no need to do this part. Also one more thing to notice here, as it is Axios, we will not receive data directly. So data will have couple of things, like you have header information and your status information. So we always need to do data. So in order to get the exact response. So if I increase the count, you will receive the similar output. We have the first name, last name coming in. Now this is very straightforward option of using Axios. Also we can do the post call using Axios. So axios.post, it is similar. You have to pass whatever URL you have with the post, but let's find out if we have a post. Yeah, we have this post API. Okay, so we'll just say add this one, and what we need is, if we go to the post APIs, yeah, Axios post request, so we just need to pass whatever data we want. So that second parameter here will be your data passing. So what data we can pass? So they are allowing to pass this title, so we just need to pass the title. Okay, so we have this title going on here. You can also plan a little better. You can say body parameter and keep it outside as a const params params, and you can just keep this thing here, and this is how you write the better code, right? So you always write post Axios all. Okay, so you have this body parameter going in here. Now what we can do, we can just quickly say then, and we'll have this return coming in, right? Console.log, and we have this data, and basically this data is also coming in from here. And if you run into any kind of problem, so you have to apply the catch where you will be returning the error. Okay, and you can just console.log error. Okay, so we have the base Axios setup ready, right? So now if I, okay, let me delete this one and clean up this. So now what I will do, I will just quickly restart my application. So basically I'll just increase the count. On second, we are doing two things here. So basically we are actually getting the data which is from this user data, and also we need to add this product. We are adding it, but as we are not doing data.data, that's why I don't see exact result. But yeah, now you see we have added that data, and that's how the response coming into us. So we have this title BMW pencil, right? That's what we was trying to post to this server, which is dummy JSON, right? So yeah, this is the very basic way of using Axios. How can we use the advanced Axios? So for that we have this instance, okay, so which I was talking about. If I go back to this documentation and I'll go to this Axios instance, so this will allow us to keep our base settings at one place, so that you can easily use the same configuration throughout the application, right? So what we will do, we'll quickly copy this piece. It is so easy. It is just basically you have to import Axios and create. So we can also do that. So let's move forward and create one folder. I'll create one folder called API, and I'll have one file inside this called api.js. Also I will have one more file which is index.js, so that our imports looks little cleaner. So I'll just import Axios from Axios, and I'll just say API. So I'll name it better so that we will have the clarity. Okay, we are calling that API.get or post or something like that. We'll say Axios dot create. So this create method accept all of your configuration, as you can see here, right? So very first configuration, we have the base URL. So base URL is something which you can just copy from here. So your base URL is this. So basically rest of the things will always change, right? You notice here we have user/1 product/add. So we can keep this base URL here. So I'll just keep it here. And what we can do, if you see these APIs, right? So our headers is like content type this thing. So we can just quickly copy that. Yeah, so we have this header, and if you have authentication, you can again comma separated, you can pass your auth token and all. So that is up to you. And now you have a method, so you can always set the base method. Let's say get is our base method. So if you don't even pass the dot get, it will automatically think it's a get method, right? And then we have if you go to the instance, what you see, we have timeout thing. If you want, you can keep timeout. Let's say I want to keep a timeout feature, and if so after 2 seconds we'll get the timeout error if we are not receiving any data or something. So now this configuration, so this instance have this configuration. There are more configuration to it. If you want to transform your request or transform your response, you have this header. Anyway, I spoke about that. Then you have a couple of more things, like you can, if you are doing any kind of authentication, you can just say with credential, you can pass your auth. Okay, response type, you have XSRF token if you are setting up with your project. So it will be easy, just you have to put all of that configuration at one place, right? And you have that cancellation feature, lot of things. You can just go through this, right? So for now we'll be using all of this base feature, right? And we'll save this piece. Now let's export this. Okay, export default API. And as we have also created this index.js for the better exports, export default API. Okay, so we have this. Now we can start using it. As we have created our instance, we have our base URL. So what we can do, instead of calling these Axios directly, what we can do, we can import our API. Okay, import API from API. API from dot slash. Okay, so we have this API coming in here, right? So what we can do, we can just quickly remove that Axios and replace with this, and we can remove our base URL. As you know, we have already the base URL there, right? So we can just quickly remove this. Yeah, so we have our API call going on using the instance. Okay, and pretty much everything remains same, right? So now if you again reload our app and see, we will have this thing working as is. Okay, so we'll just increase the count to have added the product. Also we have this name coming in, right? So this is how you can actually integrate your Axios with the project, and this has a lot of advantage, right? A lot of advantage. So you have to keep one place all the configuration. You don't need to worry about setting this again and again. And if you have a token, that is again a good part. You can just set up once your token, and that's how you will be following up throughout the application, right? So let's end this video here. Hope you have understood how Axios work. So share this video with your friends and subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon so that you don't miss any kind of notification. See you in next video, guys. Till then, keep coding, keep shining. Bye bye, take care.